I don't know what we can talk about in this nation without talking about white superiority, honestly.
Who defines the meaning of God also defines the relationship between economy and God.
African Americans spent $1.3 trillion last year, making us the 16th wealthiest nation in the world. Why have we not turned those riches into wealth to develop our community?
Peace, family. Welcome to HAPI Talks. I'm your host tonight. My name is Taki Grant, and we have an exciting show for you, as always. Today we're going to talk about the Mecca of consciousness. But before we get into that, everyone knows tomorrow's the big day. You don't have your tickets already. Definitely need to go do that. Need to be in the building. We have an exciting event going on, not an event, but an exciting experience that's taking place in Brooklyn tomorrow. While we're in the show, we're going to be talking in depth about the experience tomorrow. People are looking for the live stream. If you're not in the New York City area, go to hapifilm.com. Definitely going to put up the flyer for the in-person event. We're going to be in the building. Happy be in the house. Professor James Smalls, Brother Kaba, Info DC Jehutimes, Mama Ella. We got many other sisters going to be in the building. A lot of brothers and sisters. So definitely want to come check that out. Here we go right here. Definitely get the location in a minute, but we know it's at LIU College. We're also going to give you guys a way to pay for your tickets in advance through the Cash App. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. But before we get into the show and talk about Magical Kemet Revisited, I'm just so excited about this. It got me kind of getting out of sequence in terms of what I want to talk about. But before we get into this, definitely want to say peace to the family. Thank you so much. And thanks for joining us this evening, this Saturday evening. For those who are in the building, definitely gonna get some shout outs in a second. Always, family, we appreciate the likes, the comments, and the shares in the video. We're just about at that threshold, about 38,000 for YouTube. We got about 20 more thousand to go for 40K. There's a huge milestone for HAPI. So please, if you're not subscribed already, please do so. As you know, always, we talk about the HAPI Merchant Clearance Sale. It always helps everything that we do at HAPI. The film, the HAPI film, some people get confused sometimes. Rather, HAPI Talks is the film, or it's the videos and the virtual things that we do here on YouTube and other Facebook and other platforms. HAPI is a 2-hour and 12-minute long film that's available now on Tubi and Quaily TV. So if you get this opportunity, please tell a friend to tell a friend. Please, if you've seen it before, just go out and watch it. It always helps with the algorithms, even on the streaming platforms. We can't emphasize this next piece enough, the newsletter. So super important as we talk about the growth and development and just the formation of community. This is a great opportunity for us to gel and co-gel and come together as a community in a sense of just being able to share ideas and thoughts. The HAPI newsletter is now open for people to publish their ideas or share their ideas and their thoughts, and these are things that we'll publish along with it. Also, if you have a business, it's a great opportunity to get your business in front of many people. Also, an opportunity to support the newsletter and help it grow and develop to the publication that it can be. So with that, we also turn to the Cash Apps and Super Chats. Thank you, family, so much for your generous donations to the Cash App and Super Chats. Greatly appreciate it. Last point before we get started to the show, Ghana. HAPI in Ghana with Professor James Small. So critically important that you come be a part of this experience, for a long time, for over almost 30 years. Kemet has been a stronghold for Eye Tours and for HAPI. Now we are getting to other aspects of the continent. We've used to do other parts of the world as well. But this Ghana with HAPI in Ghana, Professor Smalls, is going to be an unprecedented first-time trip from July 25th to August 5th if you're just going to Ghana only. If you elect to do the Ghana and Egypt piece, that's from July 25th to August 6th, where we'll spend 2 nights in Egypt. So definitely, family, you want to be a part of that. Peace, Divine. Damon, my brother Damon's going to be in the building tomorrow. King Simon, peace, brother. And if you're interested in being a part of the trip to Ghana, you can go to akidtours.com and get your tickets. Now, the Mecca of consciousness. When I think of the Mecca of consciousness, one of the things that come to mind is the landscape of New York City and what it looked like in terms of consciousness throughout the years. I know growing up as a young kid in the city, there was a form of consciousness everywhere. It could have been on every street corner, every projects, every block that was lit. There was always something going on. There was always somebody going that had a sense of who they were, whether through the 5% Nation, Ansar Nation, Nation of Islam, Hebrew Israelites. There was something going on in the streets to the point where no matter how ignorant you were going to come across some consciousness. And that's just what it was. And throughout the years, even going back to the early 60s with Malcolm X, moving up to the more modern era, just the first world and all the different cultural centers here in New York, this was a hotbed again for consciousness. And it kind of just led the way and even spilled over into certain things in our cultural apparatuses like hip hop and things like that. And you can see the influence of consciousness from the streets into other street form expressions, again, like dance and hip hop, things like that. So this has always been a mecca of consciousness. And the Eye Opener production for me was a very important thing because it helped set the stage for a lot of the things that we're doing here in HAPI. And we're going to talk about some of those things tonight. But there's definitely something that has been, I wouldn't even say it's not what it used to be, but we're the people that we've been looking for. And I think it's our jobs to bring the mecca of consciousness back to where it belongs and really kind of get this thing going. Because as always, this is going to be the epicenter for these types of things. And it's going to spread just throughout the country and throughout the world. So, Black consciousness, again, a lot of the elders that's going to be there, they're all kind of, I don't want to say native to New York, but they've been here for a very long time. Some of them are migrated from the South, things like that. But Professor James Smalls, Brother Kaba, Infidisi Juhitimes, they're all kind of tri-state New York City people. Dr. J, Dr. Clark House, all these different things. You got to, Dr. Ben, when you look at it, it's definitely something that, as a New Yorker, I'm definitely proud to say that. But it's also something that we have to continue on in their spirit and make sure that we kind of walk in their footsteps. So without that, any further ado, we're going to talk about Magical Kemet Revisited and how it connects to the Mecca of consciousness. We're going to bring in my brother Shabazz.
Peace, everybody. Peace. I'm going to start this out, let y'all know. I had no intentions of doing anything like this, but Taki is so insistent about this. But I like to say peace to the family. I'm, as everybody must know who know me, I'm usually not in front of the camera, but it's time I come out and start talking. And this topic is very much appropriate for me to start out with the Mecca of consciousness. It's deep that New York is associated with that. I have a very interesting history myself, and I started off the 5%, the Nation of Gods and Earth, and the term Mecca was something we used to really just identify a Harlem, but even more so New York as a whole. You can go back in the history to Schomburg. I lived on Kosciuszko Street. Arturo Schomburg lived on Kosciuszko Street. How about that? But yeah, 1911, him and his brother John Edward Bruce, they started something called the Negro Society for Historical Research, right? And it consisted of continental Africans, West Indians or Caribbean people, and African Americans. So right there, we're going to squash a little something that's going on out here. Whatever you identify as, we were always together in this movement. Although you can't take others, the identity and what people want to identify as, but we were all considered Black. and the identity changed. It was colored, Negro, Black, Moor, but whatever it is in New York, and like Taki said, it was buzzing. That's what made it fertile ground, because you had people all over the country doing stuff. Booker T. Washington, Du Bois is from New York. He's from Brooklyn, all right? But anyway.
You even got to go back to, Marcus Garvey and the Garvey movement. A lot of it was in Harlem.
I'm getting to that now. Because what made New York fertile ground for that was the combination that we had the Caribbeans, the African Americans, the continental Africans here. And it was such a high level of scholarship. The scholarship made it possible for all revolutionary or nationalist or Pan-Africanist movements, because you had to have knowledge of self. That's where I come from, the nation of gods and earth. The most important thing is knowledge of self. And when Garvey came, he was so welcomed because it was New York. What was unique about New York is that we were always welcoming of one another. We, as kids, we might have teased and played games with one another with our, our identities, but we always came together. You know what I'm saying? We had this thing where you couldn't tell where somebody was from after you'd been in New York for a little while. You could not tell, but you could say when the accent comes out. But I want to move on with that into the 60s when you had Malcolm came out, which New York has always been fertile ground for movements and always been fertile ground to initiate change in the Black community and for the world. As New York goes, so does the rest of the planet.
No, absolutely. But let me ask you.
I'm not going to knock other places because everywhere is so vitally important in every country and everything. But I'll tell you this much: it's a unique thing in New York. I grew up. You say this guy's bad. This guy, oh man, the most feared dude on the streets was the guy with the most knowledge. I think anybody who grew up in the 80s or was around in the 80s can attest to that. Because like Taki said, you had Ansars, you had Nation of Islam, you had Hebrew Israelites, you had the guards, you had everybody out there, but the most important kind of currency was your knowledge. And that made you the guys, the stick-up kids would hide from you.
Got a lot of respect. Definitely got a lot of respect in the street.
And now we got to start bringing that back, man.
It was a cool thing to be conscious.
Cool, like you say, you're cool. Like even when you look at the African culture, they say cool, calm character, cool. I mean, I've always wanted to be cool. I think everybody else has also, but when you look at it, that's a trait of Black people. We guide all culture. We direct all kinds of art, entertainment, culinary arts, anything. We are the guide of that.
No, I definitely give it flavor. But on that note, let me ask you a question, Shabazz. So we know you came up like myself, highly influenced into consciousness, and really didn't. I feel like I didn't really have much of a choice because it was just all the way. It was just all around.
Right.
Like, how did that inspire you to start Eye Opener Productions?
Okay. I'm gonna get real personal. I got caught with a gun when I was 14 years old. I went to Rikers Island. I came back out and I got sentenced to 5 years probation. Part of my probation was this thing called Project Joey. Now, I'm a young cat, 5%, and this is 1978, 79. I was 14, 15 years old. Project Joey is an acronym for Job Opportunities and Employment for Youth. I got sentenced to go work at the East and the Huru Sasa, where I met, if I could start with the list of people I met, Dr. Ben,
wow,
Dr. Clark, J. Tuausi, John Watusi Branch.
Wow.
Let me tell you something. I thought I knew everything and I thought I was on point and everything, but the brother who started the Nation of Gods and Earths, he made it his business to send people to a place called Harlem Prep. And in Harlem Prep, part of the faculty of teachers was John Henrik Clark, Dr. Ben, and a few other noteworthy scholars to really give you guys a little info about the conscious movement and the fact that we call it the Mecca of consciousness. We used to say Manhattan all the time, Mecca, and we used to call Brooklyn Medina and all that, but it's really the whole city of New York because Queens had the African Poetry Theater. Brooklyn had the East. They had the Middle East in Brownsville. They had the Far East was Queens. African Poetry Theater was originally called the Far East. That's a little tidbit of knowledge for you. In Harlem, you had the Guards. In Brooklyn and Bushwick, you had the Ansar Ullah community. You had every different frequency of consciousness in New York and it's spread out from around the country. See, LA, they can be proud to say they spread gang culture around. New York could be proud to say we spread knowledge around the country. And I'm so proud of that. And I know me and you, my brother King, proud of that.
Absolutely, 100%. But you know, which really, I see a lot of convergence, almost like the flow of the blue and white now coming together with this event. And one of the things I kind of just going back down memory lane, I was just thinking about our meeting and like forming together, like transforming like Voltron, and like when we like came together back in like 2010, I think it was late 2010.
Right. Yes.
Due to Tekken. You know, one of the things I remember you calling me, you reached out and you was like, yo, I watched the film and you know, I want you to come down.
Right.
And do a little. So we're gonna put a picture up of the Tekken in a second. For those that don't know, this is the previous film to HAPI, and it kind of set the stage for a lot of different things. But after, like, you know, I mean, one of the things you was talking about was like, you know, and then we got the Tekken right there. And you saw the film and you was like, yo, what you know, come down and be a part of this. And I was like, okay, cool. Nah, definitely. And later on that year, we did something with the ancestor Francis Cress Wilson.
That's right.
Yeah. So I think we got that was like December 11th, 2010.
That was my birthday.
Yeah, that was your birthday that day? Okay.
Every year on my birthday, I would get a Dr. Sabi did one for me. I mean, some of the great Barashango did one for me. I mean, I've been truly and honestly blessed, man.
Right. And I just wanted to say something to the family. A lot of times we talk about ancient history. This is so important because this history right here is our history in the sense of our contemporary history, and we can't lose sight of these types of things. And you see here, UNRS is something that we was forming at the time up in our research society, which really kind of led to the foundations of HAPI, because it deals again with the Nubian in Egypt, or Kemet and Kush connection, the relationship between the two. We also got some pictures, actually a couple pictures of speaking right before Mama Wilson came on and was talking. And yeah, we want to kind of show that's actually in the spot. That's the same room we're going to be in right there, Shabazz.
That's the exact same room we're going to be in, but it doesn't look the same anymore. Because you saw the pictures of it, right? Right. They updated it, but it's the same room, brother. But
I think that's Clemson Brown sitting right there in the front, videotaping.
Yeah, I was getting ready to get to him next. That was coming. That's very key to what you're talking about, the Mecca of consciousness.
Yeah, I see Brother Clemson Brown, the ancestor right now. You know, he's definitely a big part of everything that we did. But before we get into that, I just want to just run through this history real quick. And we got some other guests behind stage we want to bring in too.
Go quickly though.
That right there, everything that we did the end of 2010 led to this first trip to Boston we did to the Museum of Fine Arts. This is so significant because this museum houses the largest amount of Nubian artifacts anywhere out of the Sudan. And this right here was in January 12th, 2011. Then the next thing we did was you had Browder come in that March. I opened the productions. You had Browder come in. The next one we did was Umar. What was the date on this one? This one was, I think, March 27th.
Right.
Yeah, that was March 27th. Then we had the other one, the other joint, in April 17th. The Magical Kemet Revisited, and this is going to be kind of reboot this year. Tomorrow afternoon, actually, of what we did back in, back in April 2011. Then the next joint we had was the second trip to Boston. This was the big one. This is one when we had the 3 buses of people from the one from Brooklyn. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's definitely a lot of work and stuff that kind of went through that period, man. And definitely this is when we was Umar in Albany.
Right.
Albany project.
He came
after the portrait did it. After the portrait did after that. You know what I'm saying? So the family, there's so much history here, so much work that this brother put together, and just, I was always a pleasure just kind of like working with him throughout these years and kind of seeing what was going on. But these things that we've done together has been epic. And this event tomorrow is going to be epic. We're going to talk about this event for a second. Brother Shabazz, let's just start with the location of where they can go, where the place is.
Long Island University is centrally located downtown Brooklyn. You jumped into some things. I was going to talk about Clemson Brown, UAM.
Okay, we're going to listen. I just want to just catch this, and we're going to come back to everything else.
And then LIU comes with it. But after that, in the 80s, there was a lot of tension happening, and they started. A judge had bought this place. It was called the Regent Theater. I used to go there as a kid on Fulton Street. Well, when he bought it, he renamed it the Slave Theater, and that became the center for most consciousness, Pan-Africanist, nationalist, any kind of information being spread throughout the diaspora of the Black community was held there. And while I was there, I met, it was a gentleman who was chronicling everything with a video camera, Clemson Brown, Minister Clemson Brown. And he was also a mentor of mine. They would give every Wednesday night, they would have these lectures. So Clemson would show me teach me the videotape. And ultimately they stopped being in Brooklyn. They moved to Harlem. So you see the connection of Brooklyn and Harlem. So they moved to Harlem to the Dempsey Theater on 127th Street. And they began every Wednesday, you had different speakers come in. And I've developed a rapport with most of the speakers. And I had already known a lot of them. Going back in the 80s, I started selling books at the Afrocentric book movement. The brothers who started it were from Trinidad. Luther Warner, Patches, all them guys, they was from Trinidad. All they knew was 125th Street. So I started to put them on the Fulton Street, downtown Brooklyn, Albee Square Mall, Jamaica Ave, Tremont, the Bronx. I started putting them on where else you can go to do the books. And it was downtown Brooklyn, Albee Square Mall, right next to Junior's. And Long Island University is there also. And I used to vend down there. And I developed a relationship with the people down there. And I started bringing lectures in. And the first lectures we had were like Phil Valentine, Bobby Hemmett, people like, they were extreme in the kind. And I also started bringing in the regular, the Browders and different speakers like that. But I've developed such a great amount of social capital that I think this is going to be great. And I'm going to continue moving on into it. Long Island University is very important and it's key because it's one of the final strongholds we have left in New York. We have lost so many of the places we used to use and come together at. Like Taki said, it's more than a lecture, it's a gathering of the people. I'm going to be doing some other stuff there also, but this is the beginning, and I'm happy to introduce Mama Ella to the Long Island University and the Eye Opener and HAPI crowd. She has a lot to offer. She's like the future. I've always done that. I did that with Brother Panic, Daruba, all these different people you had out there. They got their start with Eye Opener, and I want to continue doing that. And I thank you, brother, for promoting this event with me, man.
Nah, definitely, man. Yeah.
That's Minister Clemson Brown. We're at LIU right there. Anthony Brown and Tuathar. A lot of history, man. That's myself on the far left. And brother, all I can say is we work well together. We've done some great things together, man. And we're just gonna continue on,
Right. We got a couple other flicks too, man. We definitely want to kind of show this history because it's important that that people see it and the family understands the significance of this because this is our time. A lot of times we talk about history, but it's our time to kind of live in that. This is us at the festival. Right. You know what I'm saying? Years ago at the street festival. And we want to live that. Like you people say, for people who into the Bible, things like that. Like they may be like, yo, I wish I was there with Moses. I wish I was there with Jesus. I wish I was there with Muhammad. This is the time to be here with the people, the Moses and Jesus of our time. We got the great scholars that's going to be in the building, people that are kind of, definitely making it happen. So, this is you at the museum during that trip with the people, you know what I mean? So, definitely, man, we want people to come out and be a part of this experience. It's going to be historic.
Check out the shirt I got on.
Of course, you got the Nubia joint on. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That was the old Nubia shirts that we used to have. You know what I'm saying? We don't have those anymore. We got the new ones now, But yeah, man. So I really want to make sure that the information is communicated correctly. We're going to put up in a minute the flyer for the in-house people asking questions. Our door tickets still available. And right here, you know, at the bottom, family, definitely maybe want to take a screenshot of this. Long Island University, Brooklyn campus. What's that? The Health and Science Building?
Yes, the Health Science Building.
You know,
that's the original location, and it's so deep, man. The Health Science Building and the science. Look at the title of the building: Health and Science. I love it, man. It really says it all. And you know, the gentleman at the bottom, Baba Ifakule, that's my godfather. Good brother. He's my teacher in African spirituality. Professor Smalls needs no introduction. He's an elder that's really, you know, grounded and well known in the community. Sister Mama Ella, she's gonna bring so much stuff on a holistic level, man, that we need as a people, man. We need her and people like her. She's into health and wellness. She's into all kinds of readings and spiritual levels that we need to be getting into, man. We dealing with a level of warfare and attack that's unprecedented, man. We gotta get our shit together, man. Pardon the you know, we gotta get our stuff together, and you know, it ain't no time for games no more. Let's get it together, get it right. And you know, we can have fun all day, but we ain't gotta play out here. You know, let's enjoy ourselves and have a good time, but really get into the work of really raising ourselves up, man.
Right. So I didn't throw the glasses on for this one, man. So
Go ahead.
I want to make sure I read this flyer correctly.
Okay, let's
Long Island
go.
University, Brooklyn campus, Health Science Building. Enter at the gate on Flatbush, extension between DeKalb and Willoughby.
Right. In the past, we used to enter in DeKalb.
Right.
They changed it. Now you have to enter through Flatbush. It's no big deal.
Yeah, I remember the DeKalb entrance. I want to scroll this flyer up a little bit. I want to scroll it up because I want to see the people to see the subway.
Right. Well, we got the N, the R. We also, that's at the DeKalb station. We also have the 2, 3, 4, and 5 at the Nevins station, which is a block and a half away. Everything is a block away. We got Hoyt and Skimmerhorn for the A and the C. That's like 2.5, 3 blocks away. So it's centrally located. All the buses that run through Brooklyn pretty much come through there.
Okay.
And most trains that come through Brooklyn, because you get the G, the A, the C at Hoyt and Skimmerhorn. If you want to do the F, that's at J Street. If you want to do all the trains that come through Brooklyn and from Manhattan and from Queens come there. So that's another reason why it's such a great location.
Okay, here we go. Everything, all the trains, like you said, and the bus, everything. Yeah. So, family, here's the other thing too. The Eventbrite link is not working anymore, but you can send the Cash App, the $40 for the Cash App to be a part and still get your advance tickets, but you can pay for it in the event.
My Cash App up there?
Yeah, we're about to throw it up there in a second.
All right.
Yeah, we got that. We'll take that up in a second. Now, should they give you their name when they send the Cash App, or they just send it?
Definitely give your name so that I can put you on the list. And once you get on the list, you're good to go. And also, all
right, we're gonna take the flyer down, but we'll put the Cash App up in a second.
All right, I see it up there now. And they can pay at the door too.
And they can pay at the door also. Okay, yes. All right. So at the door, is it just cash, or they can do
cash or Cash App at the door? So
Cash or Cash App at the door.
Right.
All right, family. That's important because listen, you know, and we had the brother John Medicine on, but he had to kind of step out, and I just wanted to kind of talk about him for a second before I bring in Mama Ella. Matter of fact, we can bring Mama Ella on right now as we're talking about John Medicine, because one of the things is the brother he was at work, and he, you know, definitely wanted to kind of be a part of this. But Felicia, you can take the flyer down and put the Cash App up for people so they can see that, so where they can go ahead and pay for get their tickets in advance. But the brother John was with us in Kemet last February. Man, did an awesome job, just helping us curate the experience. Because one of the things is we realize as people, especially younger people, that, you know, listen, as we learning ourselves, we should still be ourselves, and being ourselves in the sense of enjoying ourselves. And the brother came to Kemet, man, did a fantastic job. We had live shows. My brother Jamal Milton, a sister, I can't remember her name right now, but we'll get back to the sister's name. We had these live shows on the ship that we had just for our group. Rock the House, DJ, was a phenomenal event. And this is going to also be a part of what's going on tomorrow. So we definitely going to have the lectures, but we definitely going to have the music piece going in, the conscious feel and everything like that. So it's going to be a vibe. It's going to be a tremendous experience. So, you know, definitely want to come out and just commune with the family and not just all about just, you know, we ain't going to bore you for 7 hours and just not give you anything that's, you know, for your, you know, for you to be able to kind of shake it off a little bit. So definitely looking forward to that experience. And while we're there, we definitely want to get that Cash App up for people just so they can see it in advance of where they can go get their tickets from. But while we're doing that piece, Mama Ella, how are you? Greetings.
Greetings and salutation. Greetings to the happy family. I'm
Yes,
well.
yes.
Thank
You
you.
well. Okay. All right. That's good to hear. It's good to hear. So I'm sorry, just 2 seconds. Let me just get to this right here. Here's the
Sure.
Cash App family for the tickets. $ Shabazz Wilson. It's $40 again for the tickets. Like I said, this is definitely something, a well-spent $40. Come be a part of it. For those people who are not in the New York City area, we always encourage people to go ahead and join us on the live stream. You get the live stream tickets at happyfilm.com. But if you here anywhere in the tri-state area, you got to be a part of this experience. We just laid it out how historic this has been throughout the years, and this is going to be the start of some new historical stuff. You know what I'm saying? So definitely want to come be a part of that. You know, be a part of this transformative experience.
Absolutely.
Mama Ella, thank you so much for your patience. Appreciate it. If you can, just tell us a little bit about yourself, you know, to introduce yourself to the Happy family.
Yes, greetings to the happy family. My name is Magella. Most people know me as Mama Ella. I am a homeschool teacher. I was born to a Haitian mother and Congolese father. I've been certified by Dr. Africa as a holistic nutritional consultant over about 10 years ago. I studied under Dr. Sabi. I also hold a bachelor degree in nutrition and dietetics. That's where I formulate my own concept of health and nutrition, you know, from the bachelor degree from Sabi and from my experience with Dr. Layla Africa, the late great Dr. Africa and Sabi. I am also accustomed to traveling to Jamaica a lot, purchasing and investing in natural herbal remedies from Jamaica, and helping to heal different ailments here in America or everywhere. I also come from a bloodline of mediums. So most people know me as a psychic medium or a medium. I channel and I do readings for people. And I also dip in like astrology. And this is what I will be presenting tomorrow at the event. I'm gonna teach people, or yeah, basically teach people how to read your very own natal chart from my experience of astrology.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. That's powerful. So I do have a couple questions for you here. What inspired you to be a part of Magical Kemet Revisited, and what does this event mean to you personally?
Personally, I got introduced. Well, not I got, but personally, Brother Shabazz called me. We was already Shabazz already presented and was telling me how he was gonna, you know, come out and start doing the lectures again. Because again, me and Shabazz are like family, you know. So we will see each other at family events, and we'll talk about. He will speak to me, you know. Oh, you know, I'm thinking about doing this. And when he gave me the call that he was going to do this event, I was delighted. Like, why wouldn't I want to be a part of something that was so monumental to New York City? You know, because you know Shabazz been doing this for you know, he done brought out Bobby Hemmett. He done brought out the greats. He done brought out Panic. He brought out a lot of people, and who I was in the audience watching, you know, in LIU. So I was one of the people watching who Shabazz brought to LIU. So now I'm going to be a speaker And so that, it hits different when you on the other side and you've been experiencing these things. I myself been a part of the conscious community, you know, when it was like early 2000, going to different lectures and things of that nature. King Simon doing lectures, Shabazz doing lectures, Monique Nicholas Brooks bookstore was doing things. So
Shout out.
right, I was dipping and going and by myself too, you know. And so to see that it is being renewed is a beautiful thing, and I'm so delighted because I've done grown so much from me watching speakers to now me being the speaker. So it hits personally. I'm very delighted to come tomorrow and you know, teach people the same way I was taught, or in the same way I've learned from Bobby, from Panic, you know. And as me and Shabazz was saying, like, I've known Panic personally, so it wasn't like I wasn't able to call him on the phone or, you know, speak to him through the DM or whatnot. He was always available for me. And so like it's a personal thing, but it's also, you know, we are all ascending. And as I was saying that, you know, what may be old to me is new to somebody else. So I don't have this concept of, oh, you know what, I'm not going to teach this or I'm not going to do that because, oh, that's old. Yeah, it's old to you, but somebody else may need that information. Like me teaching people how to do their very own natal chart. I've been doing natal chart readings for, I can say, over 10 years. That might be boring to me, but to someone else is valuable. So I'm delighted. You know, I'm happy to you know, thank you, Brother Shabazz, for allowing me to be a part of this monumental event. This is your first event, it's all right. This is your first event in so long. This is like an icebreaker. And you got the greats, you got the elders in the building. It's gonna be such a beautiful and you know, a magical event. Lots of knowledge. We already speaking this into the universe. We already speaking. This is going to be a magical event. This is going to be so monumental. This is going to be the it.
That's right.
You get what I'm saying? Right. I mean, come on. I personally have not gone to any lecture where someone is going to teach me how to read my very own natal chart. That's very monumental because most people don't even know what a natal chart is. They don't know what a birth chart is. They don't know the concept of anything. So for me to introduce that to the audience of all different ages, is personal and is love. It's all love.
Right. Family, please take this opportunity to like, share, and comment. Definitely want to get this out to as many people as possible. You know, definitely, you know, as we go through this discussion, I'm listening to Sister Magella. That's what you say your name was, Magella?
My first name is Magella, but people call me Mama Ella.
Mama Ella, okay.
Yes, for sure. You know, it's easy.
It's easy, okay.
Magella, that's my name.
And you know, the brother Shabazz, Mama Ella and the brother Shabazz, as they're talking, and just thinking about just like what this means, just coming up, just being a part of this work and just continuing to work and seeing how this work has inspired so many people. And one of the beautiful things about that night is the generational aspect. People are going to have their children. Right. Like the sister said, the elders are going to be in the building. There'll be some, I guess, Gen Zs, millennials. Everyone's going to be there. And we're just going to be just kind of just vibing and being a part of the family. And one of the things that you can see as a strategy of, I guess you would call the enemy, is keeping us isolated and separated from one another. You know what I'm saying? And these types of events really help us coalesce and come together and build community. So it's so important that we have these types of experiences and that we fight to keep them. I know one of the things is I remember telling the brother Shabazz, begging him years ago to get it started again. He's like, I'm like, listen, it's needed. You know what I'm saying? Because I saw when we stopped, you know, after this kind of fell apart, I wouldn't say fall apart, after things kind of stopped. Right. You know, a lot of foolishness came in the community, in the conscious community. A lot of just it's like, what is this? What are we watching here? You know what I'm saying? And it was like, we have our ancestors literally turning over in their graves because just some of the stuff that people were just doing in this community. But it's like, we got to go back to scholarship. We got to go back to a certain level of carrying yourself a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying? His brother Shabazz definitely is an example of that. And you know what I'm saying? I'm proud and happy that he's back to doing this again. So this is very meaningful. Family is very important. And I definitely need to come out and be a part of this. Go ahead, sister.
I feel that I don't feel like it fell apart. I feel like the YouTube era kind of took over us
Absolutely.
meeting again in person, because everybody started, well, not everybody, but most, people started filming and putting it up on YouTube, where I don't got to go to the lectures no more. I could just sit back and watch it on YouTube.
Right.
People wasn't interested in traveling and doing, the meetups anymore. And so I feel like it was like a break in that because of the YouTube era, but everything is recycled. Everything come full circle. So now a lot of people was like, yeah, meeting, oh, they're gonna do this, they're gonna do that. And now Shabazz is coming out. He's being reborn again.
Right.
That's right.
So
The spirit of the LIU spirit, the lecturing spirit, the knowledge, the love, the spreading of the information is being reborn again. I open up because we are ascending.
Right.
Number 9, 2025. Stop playing, right?
Mm-hmm.
The deep thing is, one of the things we look back in our more recent past, and you see the emergence of like debate culture. You see the emergence of a lot of pseudoism, things like that. And that, for me, is where I feel like we got to be more balanced. And, events like this helps us modulate those types of things. So it was a period that's all we saw. You know what I'm saying? That's all we saw in the conscious community was that. And one of the things for me and HAPI, I wanted to kind of bring things back to where I know them to be, and coming up through the African Poetry Theater and just other things, that there was a certain level of respect that we put to this life and this way of life. And shout out to, give much respect to the ancestor, Watusi Branch, his son Sekou, the African Poetry Theater. There's so much different history that we have just growing up here in the city. And if you were a part of it, you grew up in it, you have a certain level of respect and love for it. You know what I'm saying? That I didn't see in the more recent past. You know what I'm saying? And we need to kind of get back to regulating these things by just doing the work and just being who we're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? And, just meeting people like Dr. Leonard J. These people put their lives on the line, and they, their whole lives sacrifice them to be, do what they're doing. That's Sekou right there. That's Watusi's son, in the African Portugal. I remember being with him like from 8 and 9 years old, going there, having no concept of knowledge itself, but just being in those type of environments help mold the person that I am today. So definitely, when I say it's about to fall apart, I was talking about just what we were doing in LIU, particularly more Shabazz. But I said, nah, I didn't feel about it. He just kind of, for whatever reason, it kind of stopped. But when that stopped and we stopped doing things, because it kind of seemingly almost around the same time, it kind of just opened the floodgates for just, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? For, people getting at each other online and cursing each other out. I'm like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of like where it's like, oh my God, we got to kind of get back to that. But I have another question for you, Mama Ella.
Yes.
How does your work align with themes of African consciousness, healing, and empowerment that Magical Kemet Revisited represents?
You said, how does
your work align with the themes of African consciousness, healing, and empowerment that Magical Kemet Revisited represents?
Well, the Asiatic person, or the, as we call it, the African person, is we're natural healers. Our mamas, our grandmamas, every Caribbean or like even people from the South, when they say root work, oh, just go and get you some basil, or just go and get you some. They'll take the cough away. They'll take this, take everything away. So like illness away, especially us Caribbean people. We got remedies and home remedies for everything. Rather it's ginger and honey. Rather it's just honey and water, itself. So like my line of work of healing, and even with spirituality and doing readings, this is something that has been going on for centuries.
Mm.
Like, I'm Haitian. So when we won the Haitian Revolution, you think we did that with like what? With prayer, calling on the ancestors, and root work, some herbs and stuff like that. And so that's how, my line of work deals with African culture. I don't know about the Kemet part because Kim is black. When you say Kemet, so we talk about black or Africa as a whole, as the people, us as indigenous melanated people, we are always known to deal with natural remedies. All of this new medicine stuff and pills, and that's new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's new stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Sabi always say, for every illness, there's a cure for that. There's an herb for that. You could be some of us. I don't know if you are familiar with Tioma. She's a midwife. You know her, brother Shabazz?
I've
Tioma.
heard of her. I don't know her, but I've heard
Let
of
me
her.
tell you something. Tioma and when I was taking botany classes at
Mm-hmm.
uh 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 the library over there, the New York City Library on 42nd Street.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she would take us to Central Park and pick out
Mm-hmm.
burdock, red clover.
Remember? Yeah.
Okay, Sister Tioma, she would take us to Prospect
Prospect
Park.
Park.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on Prospect Park. You got all
Mm-hmm.
types of herbs there.
I
We
know.
walk, we walk with that herbs and don't even know this herb. This will help with this illness. This will remove the asthma. This will remove. You get what I'm saying? Help you with your skin. And so, like, it's everywhere around us. Herbs, natural healing,
Mm-hmm.
and if you that much in tune spiritually, your ancestors will help you to heal whatever
That's it.
illness that you have. So that's how my line of work. And I'm very, very in tune. I'm a Pisces. I'm very, very, very in tune. I do readings. I do live readings for people. That's most people know me for my readings and stuff like that. And so, like,
Mm-hmm.
this is everything. This is ancient what I'm doing. I'm just keeping that spirit alive to just
Mm-hmm.
help people to stay healthy, helping your children to stay healthy, not through the white man's medicine, but through natural medicine. That's why I get my herbs from Jamaica, and the herbs that I get from Jamaica are harvested and sent straight to me. They don't go through no FDA. They don't go through nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like my business partner, who happens to be Ja Cure, is the famous reggae artist Ja Cure. She got her own like herbal like farm type of thing. So most of her herbs just grow right there. So you getting it straight from the soil of Jamaica, straight natural, shipped to me, to you.
Mm. I have one more question for you, Mama Ella.
Yes.
This is interesting. This is kind of relates to the event itself. What message do you hope attendees take away from their experience tomorrow?
In terms of what I'm going to be
Yes.
presenting,
Well, we'll start with you first, and then we'll go to the other messages.
well, I hope that the audience take try to understand their true identity, because most of us are lost. Most of us still don't know what we came back onto this planet to do. And I claim that with me showing you your natal chart, you would get a better understanding of your true purpose here on this planet. Because we all reincarnated or chose to come back for a reason. It's not, oh, we didn't just come back here just because. We came back here to learn lessons and to teach other people, one of the main reasons. So what is your destiny? What do you find in yourself that you are good at? And most people don't know. And so I claim, or I hope, to be able to show while doing this natal chart of who you are. and why you came back onto this planet, your strengths, your weaknesses. Where's your Chiron? Where's your North Node, South Node? You know, stuff like that. But briefly, we're not gonna go into depth, but the basics of it. You know, leave my contact information, and then we can get into it deeper. But just opening up the show with that knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Your volume.
Roger. Now, generally speaking, what do you hope that the attendees walk away with?
Me again?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's what I mean.
He meant overall with all the whole
overall, I feel like the attendees should, you know, like basically understand their ancestors. You know, if you feeling confused about even history, because I know Brother Infidishi's going to go in with that, you know, because a lot of us have this question, you know, regarding who are we? Where do we come from? You know, different timelines of things has happened. So I claim that a lot of people's confusion gets resolved, you know, in terms of identity wise. That's what I claim, that people leave this you know, lecture with, understanding more who we are as a people, as a people, and as an individual. Just understanding the concept of we are gods and goddesses, and we did this and we had that, and we can tap into this, and you know, we are that powerful, and you know, let me show this is how it relates to one another, and just basically any type of missing pieces that you had or you had. I claim that it gets sealed or it gets connected, the missing dots that many of us, you know, may have nonetheless.
Okay. Thank you so much. Brother Shabazz, what
Yes,
are your thoughts on, what do you hope the attendees walk away with for tomorrow?
Oh man, I ultimately I just like to inspire people to fulfill and live out their greatness through just experiencing and acknowledging the greatness that they are. And I want them to feel more comfortable being around one another. I want to knock away a lot of those barriers for, okay, you're, I don't know what the latest one is. I remember it used to be ADOS and FBA, and then you got Caribbean and all. I want us to knock away a lot of that. No matter where you stand on it, just understand that we all here together and we all Black people. And like I love to hear Sister Mama Ella talk about her upbringing, because my mother was one of those people in North Carolina who my father was Savannah, the Geechee Gully, you know,
Right.
all the language that she's using. I grew up in a house with that.
Right.
And my mother was a root people, and they was all spiritual people. And you know, I also hope that everyone gets learn a new networking. I'm so glad you suggested that when we finish with the lecturing, we have a few hours just to commune and be around each other. You're gonna have the music, the food is gonna be. We're gonna have a nice, good old time with one another, and it's the beginning of a wonderful thing that's gonna be happening. I'm gonna be doing it every solstice and equinox this year. And hopefully in the future, I'm going to be doing more, however it manifests itself. I'm in talks with a lot of people to do a lot of things. You know, I also would like to shout out those that are doing their thing. On Saturday, April 5th, Monique and them at Nicholas Bookstore, they're going to be having Queen of Food. That's going to be fire. I'm going to talk more about that tomorrow. And also, Kafunya at Nicholas Bookstore is going to be bringing in Ross Bent, Saturday, April 26th. Now, see, I'm doing this intentionally because we are all we have. And we cannot do this thing alone. We have to stick together. I tell everybody, we are the only creation in existence that does not work together. A damn roach works together with other roaches. We will perish if we do not work together. It's foolish, and we need to snap the hell up out of that. I am an elder now. I'm honored and healthy enough to be an elder now. And I'll see this. It's time out for the, like Bobby and me used to always say, time out for the bullshit. It's time for us to get real and get into the reality of who we are and what we got to do, man. Taki, you are absolutely a wonderful guy, and you're great at this. I told you the best at this, man. I'm going to keep saying that. You got me doing stuff I don't want to do, man. But I'll do
listen, you got it. Listen, one thing I realized is that, and you read my mind, because I was going to say that for me, what I hope that comes out of tomorrow is that we realize that we need each other, right?
That's right.
And we're only as strong as each other. And, for us in HAPI represents that within itself, just the unity. I always say this almost every show, man, the tying of the lotus and the papyrus plants, symbolizing unity. Everything, our whole civilization, everything that we do is based on us coming together. And if we don't come together, we're doomed. And anytime you think about Kemet, talking about Magical Kemet Revisited, look at periods in the history of ancient Kemet where it was in decline is when they were not unified. Same thing exists today. We can take a page out of that book and realize that our unity, or we got it right here, power and unity, represents who we are. So I hope everyone comes out to understand tomorrow and understand just how important we are to each other, just like you said, Brother Shabazz. And, we definitely want to put the flyer back up again and reiterate the location. Hold on 1 second. Hold on, Shabazz. Go ahead. What you were saying?
Oh, no, we starting the day off with a spiritual healing from a sister. Our first teachers are our mothers. It's so appropriate that we're going to have somebody teaching us something about spiritual knowledge. And astrology is definitely connected to ancient Kemet.
Facts.
Everything they did was astronomical.
Facts.
Everything.
Facts.
Everything they built, how they lived, how they dressed, how they talked, everything. Their spirituality, it was the central thing was as above, so below. So the sister's going to set us off with that. And King Simon, thank you, man.
Definitely. Listen, I know a lot of people that's in the chat already got their tickets already. This is not just an lecture series. This is actually an experience. And I think the last show we did, or the most recent show we did with Kaba, he kind of coined it that way. And we look forward to being with the family tomorrow. And there's the information there. Just screenshot it. Long Island University, Brooklyn campus, Health and Science Building, right across from Junior Cheesecake. And you enter on the Flatbush Avenue side is DeKalb and right off DeKalb Avenue. And DeKalb and Willoughby. Thank you, Shabazz. And man, the Cash App for the brothers there. If you want to go ahead and pay for your tickets now, please do. Space is limited. There are still tickets available, but it's obviously it's an auditorium. So we want to make sure that, you get your ticket now. Don't wait till the last minute. If you can't do it now, or you get it together, we can definitely pay at the door. Do your Cash App or cash, whatever like that. Tickets are $40. And if you're not in New York City, you in California or Australia, UK, France, the Congo, wherever you might be, you can live stream it. The live stream will be available for 72 hours after the event. Live stream tickets are $20. Get your live stream tickets at hapifilm.com and just be a part of this thing, and definitely want to be a part of this historical event. We kind of laid out from the beginning of the show just how historical the previous events were, and just our meeting and coming together and unifying, the Brother Eye Opener Productions with the Brother Shabazz and I. So, we definitely are looking to do some bigger things in the future. So, family, definitely come out, be a part of this. Again, come out and be a part, or just if you can't, not around or can't make it out, definitely the live stream is available. So, Mama Ella, we'll start with you. Got any final words you want to say before we close out the show?
I just want to, again, I want to thank you, Brother Happy. Oh no, Brother Ty. And the Happy family for welcoming me to the show. Today's my first time on this platform. Thank you. I also want to again thank Brother Shabazz for allowing me to be a part of tomorrow's event. And just want to let everyone know to stay true to yourself. Stop fighting, stop resisting certain things that you feel in your gut that doesn't belong to you anymore. Don't be afraid to spiritually ascend. All right. If knowledge or any type of information doesn't sit right with your soul, then that means that it's not for you. I would, I would like to tell the people, it's okay to meditate. It's okay to ground yourself, meaning like walking barefoot in the park, grounding, because all of these different practices is only going to get you closer to ascending to be, the highest or the best version of yourself. And so the time is now, after the pandemic, the earth done went through a reset. So reset yourself is what I'm going to say. Reset yourself.
All right,
Okay?
now.
That's right.
Facts. All right. Thank you so much, Brother Shabazz.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to everyone coming. I could second everything that sister just said about resetting yourself. I do meditation groups, believe it or not. My loud and boisterous self, I facilitate meditation groups. I do a lot of stuff, and I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. And just everyone have a great evening. I'll see you guys tomorrow, either on live stream or in the building. And just really be good to yourselves, like she said. Ascend, man. Ascend. I love walking in the park. That big park, I ain't there yet.
Right.
I do the park. Prospect Park is my home, and I live a block and a half away from Central Park now.
Okay.
I know all the waterfalls are. I know all the little nooks and crannies most people don't even know exist in there. I'm one of those natural people. I go back to nature because I am nature.
Right.
And listen, I love you guys. This was a great show, man. Thank you so much, brother.
Nah, definitely. And let me just say this before I close out. One of the things is I know you had mentioned you really don't like to do this, but I think it's so important for the family to really know, just understand like what it takes behind the scenes to do this. You understand what I'm saying? To make it real to them, because sometimes people don't really understand the process, and going through the process is really almost important as the outcome itself. And there's a lot of work that went into what you've done and kind of created this, and people didn't understand like who Shabazz is and what makes him tick. And I'm glad I got the opportunity to meet you, and thank you, Sister Mama Ella, for coming out. And I'll talk. You guys can hang out backstage for a second. I'm gonna close out and be right there. And looking forward to tomorrow.
Creator bless. Thank you.
Peace.
Thank you. Peace.
Yes. Peace.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, family. All right. So once again, thank you everybody for coming to hang out. It was a nice, short, and kind of sweet show. Definitely wanted to get the blood flowing before tomorrow. Looking forward to this experience. Thank you for all the cash apps, the love, family, that you show always throughout the segments of HAPI Talks is greatly appreciated. As Felicia and I always say, that this goes a long way in terms of helping us put together our communications to the family, particularly, with the flyers for our events and everything else, all the artwork, the videography, the editing that goes into it. Some of that stuff we do, some of the stuff that, we outsource it, but all those things kind of cost money, and you guys make it happen by your generous donations, and we help keep it within the community because all the people that work in that, they look like us, and it really is helpful to help employ our people in our community, especially people who are getting laid off, fired, and all the stuff that's going on nowadays. So these things are always tremendous. And again, and thank you for your efforts. Family, listen, said it 1,000 times. We're gonna say it 1,001 times. Tomorrow's going to be epic. If you're in the New York City area, definitely, saying come out, be a part of it. If you're not here, definitely live stream. Live stream tickets will be available. They're available now. Obviously, tomorrow you get the link as soon as you sign up. His live stream is $20. HAPIFilm.com. Definitely, please just, just take it for, my word for it. Like I said, it's been, even for me, who's someone who was already a part of the movement, already a part of the conscious community, it was, life changing for me. So I know people who are kind of like maybe on the fence or not really sure, it's definitely an experience that you want to be a part of. So definitely take this opportunity to do that. HAPI the film, if you haven't seen it, go check it out on Tubi and Quelly TV. The newsletter support, please, family. Definitely, if you're not signed up for it, you definitely want to do that. Shout out to Sister Felicia, does a fantastic job putting the newsletter together. It's something I'm actually, being a part of HAPI, I'm actually proud of. So, if you have thoughts and ideas, and we have people who've committed to being a part of it. Sister Talita Bryant, who helped putting together these great articles. I'm not even going to really kind of spoil it. When April comes out, you'll see it, which is maybe about a week or so. You see the fantastic. Actually, she did one about about marriage being revolutionary in the March edition. But we got this whole new feature that's coming out every month starting in April. Fantastic. Brother Dr. Daniel LaRoche took out the ad for his eye. He's a doctor of optometrist with the eyes, and he took out an ad for that. Definitely much appreciated. Sister Tanya Melendez is going to have something featured coming up soon in these next few editions of the newsletter. So families getting into it, they're supporting it, they're being a part of it, and their voices are being heard in the community. And I also want the community to understand that it's your newsletter, and it's something that I want you to take ownership of and be a part of. If you got something to contribute, please just email me at happyfilm@gmail. And lastly, we're going to talk about Ghana. This is an epic experience. HAPI in Ghana with Professor James Small. Looking forward to it. Something we've been planning for years. Like I said, HAPI has been HAPI and Akato's stronghold has been Kemet for almost about 3 decades now. So now we have the opportunity to go to Ghana with Professor James Small, who's basically our resident scholar here in HAPI, and we're so excited about that and to have that opportunity. But like everything else, family space is limited. There's only been so many. It's about so many seats on the plane. So people responded immediately. As soon as we put out the flyer, as soon as we announced it, people started signing up immediately. I don't think I've seen a trip with this type of reaction. This is unprecedented. So if you're thinking about it, definitely put your deposit in today. Do your registration paperwork today. This way you can just secure your space, and if you come across the rest of it, just figure it out. But you definitely are on the fence. Definitely want to go ahead and do that. Before we do our closer, we're going to go ahead and show the video for the trip to Ghana. Shout out to my boy Fredo, who put that together. It's a magnificent piece, as he's always do. And we're going to show that video now. Then we'll play the closer, and we're going to see you guys. Hopefully, we see you guys tomorrow. We expect to see everyone here that's been a part of this tomorrow, either in the building or on the live stream. So again, we're going to play the video of this fantastic trip coming up in July.
Family, this is Professor James Small, and I'm inviting you to join me on a life-changing journey to Ghana with HAPI from July 25th to August 5th, 2025. This is more than a trip. It's a very spiritual homecoming. We will stand in the very waters where our ancestors took their last bath before being taken from their homeland, never to return. We will honor them, reconnect with our roots, and experience the beauty of Ghana, its people, its culture, and its spirit. And most importantly, we will do this together, surrounded by like-minded brothers and sisters, on this journey of remembrance and healing. The ancestors are calling. Will you answer? Visit HAPITours.com and return home.
I don't know what we can talk about in this nation without talking about white superiority, honestly.
Who defines the meaning of God also defines the relationship between economy and God.
African Americans spent $1.3 trillion last year, making us the 16th wealthiest nation in the world. Why have we not turned those riches into wealth to develop our community?